Hello again, everybody. So the purpose of today's little trip, apart from a commute to work, is I need to go and get something checked out. So I had the bike on the centre stand and I just had a little wiggle of the rear wheel. So holding it, if you imagine you're looking at the rear wheel from the side where there is no swing arm, you're looking at the hub, and with hands at, let me see, 3 and 9, moving it side to side, and then at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock just trying to tip that wheel like you're trying to feel for any play in the bearings. I can just feel a little bit of movement. It's not like a clank. So there's a couple of things I want to do. I want to get somebody to take a look at it and say yes, there's a problem, or no, that's within the realms of sense, because I've got an MOT coming up in a few months and I would like to get it sorted out in advance of that. Thing is, if a bike's new to you, you kind of think, well, maybe that's supposed to be like it, but you know, this thing's got approaching 60,000 on it, so I've got to expect things like bearings to have gone. The other thing I want to do, which is a quick and easy one, is to change the final drive fluid on these and just see what's going on there. There may be, you know, the quality of that oil, if that's clean and looking good, the one thing I would know for sure with that is that the well, more than likely that the bearing, like the hub bearing on the rear wheel, should be in good condition. If that just looks like grey sludge, then I may have a bigger issue, and I bloody well hope not. There's no oil leaking away. I don't have like oil covering the rear wheel or a patch of oil once it's kind of been stood on the stand, so there's no seals that have let down. It doesn't sound bad when you have it on the centre stand and rotate the wheels, so I don't think it's final drive, which I'm thankful about, but we'll see. I don't want to be too cocky just yet. I think a lot of car drivers, you just go ahead and drive your car and just don't even think about it, but because you're perched on two wheels, you just want to give all these things a little bit more of a thorough check. So I have had a look on the old YouTubery, and it doesn't look like doing some work on some bearings there would be the end of the world. And yeah, so I'm not too depressed if that happens. I think buying a bike with this mileage on, I always know there's going to be something that's going to need a little bit of attention. The key to this really, I think, is always finding somebody that you have absolute confidence with, that they're not just going to go, oh yeah, we need to replace all the bearings and that's how much it's going to be. And then you think, well, I'll do it myself. You replace the bearings and they didn't really need doing anyway because someone was trying to just get a bit of work. I don't think that kind of thing is that widespread, but it's like anything. The internet is useful. I love the internet, but I like very much recommendations, word of mouth. I went to see this person and I had exceptional service. That kind of thing counts a lot for me. And sadly, with bikes being the minority form of transport, it's not always super easy to find those good recommendations. It could even be a good opportunity for somebody. I haven't looked on the BMW guy's website, and he's literally called the BMW guy, but it would be awesome to have like a video chat thing where you could, obviously for a fee, I wouldn't want to do it for nothing, you could put your mobile phone on a stand, Zoom call it, and just, or even just take a WhatsApp video and send it over, and they could go, yeah, that's your problem. Then you know you've got no kind of pressure to get the work done in the first place. And the nice thing about these 1150s, and I'm sure, to be honest, I'm just nervous, probably any bike you could do this on, but they don't seem too terrifying to work on. Most things, if they're set out pretty step by step, it's not too bad. It's not like I'm getting into the bowels of the engine. Look at that, manual working. People doing work with hands. That's a side topic. I would love, and I don't know, this may happen anyway, I'm too old, I don't know what's happening in schools anymore. But obviously, academic qualifications are hugely important. I'm not saying that they're not. But I think, as a kid, you probably get to that stage where you think, you know what, I'm not invested in this process anymore. And then probably just mucking about a bit. And I would say if you get to leave school at 16 and you can be a bit dialed in and get stuck in with something like working with a roofing contractor, builder, and whatever, mechanical engineer, start earning some money, I'd love that to be as much of a focus for everybody. There's such a shortage of trades in the UK, and I'm sure this is the same everywhere. And I do think, listen, we need university level people. We need people to be highly educated in certain highly specific fields, so they could go on to be the surgeons and research scientists that we need. But if we don't have houses built, if we don't have the roads maintained, if we don't have our vehicles fixed, if we don't have the internet and broadband, then it's all a bit pointless. And you genuinely don't need to spend all your time at university to get good at that stuff. You really just don't. Of course, you need the right standard of English and maths. I think those two are critical, you know, but I'd love to see them, say, like, if you're choosing what they call, I think in this country, your options at GCSE level, you could start to say, actually, all I want to do is focus on maths and English, and I want to start learning trades, maybe plural. Say I've got an interest in, I don't know, it could be plumbing and carpentry, or mechanical engineering and electrician work. And it's like, okay, so we're going to liaise with colleges and employers, so you get work experiences, time at college, learning stuff, and with a view, so when you're 16, you're a little bit ahead of the game. And I'm not saying you're going to enter the workforce like as like a value-adding weapon, but you're going to enter the workforce pretty useful, and you can start earning money. Is that so crazy? I don't know, is it? I think that could be a really good idea. I know it would cost something up front, but I mean, this is a positive investment idea. Do you agree? Is that stupid? I don't know. I think it's a really good idea. You know, bung the employers a little bit of money, and you know, you're gonna have to explain to some youngsters that when you know, start some work, you're going to be at the bottom of the ladder. You're going to be doing some of the grim jobs, but that's what it's all about. And just while we're following this vehicle, I'm just going to do some adventure riding. That's it. Just going to get my adventuring in for the day. I think unless you've done this, you can't say that you've done a proper adventure ride. Okay, box ticks. And that's the thing about the play on this thing. It handles nicely. I've already got it on the edges of the tyres, and it doesn't feel like it's handling like a jelly on a plate, if that is a thing. It feels like it's being pretty sweet. But I don't want to neglect things, and if I know there's something, I need to pay attention to it. As much as I love this road, I am not going to continue on it because there's virtually no overtaking opportunities, and the cars and vehicles in front, I think, are on a go slow. as much as I hate this road with a passion, people do tend to keep up. So one last thing, I have invested in another camera. I don't think you're going to see any footage anytime soon. I need to work out how to use it, but hopefully it'll mean the footage and the sound quality will improve somewhat. But yeah, that's on the horizon as well. But until then, stay safe everybody, and I will see you soon.